Hey, so today let's talk about goal setting. And this is one you can reference back to at any one point in time, like whenever you're ready to reset some stuff. But this is the structure I use. Now, sure, there are systems like SMART goals, and those are absolutely awesome, right? Totally works. I just have a few basic questions that I go through every single quarter to make sure that I'm on track, helps me outline everything, and it's a good system for me that works extremely well. I think you'll benefit from it, okay? So the first thing, and probably the hardest question, the question that I ask a lot of people is just, what do you want? Like seriously, what do you really want? If we were to look 90 days from now, and that was it, that was the end of your life, what would you go after? Like, what would you actually want to do? Now, a lot of people at that point in time, you're looking at me going, yeah, you're a fitness guy, right? So I'm not gonna work out. If I'm done in 90 days, I wanna enjoy every minute of it. But that brings me to my second question is, why does it matter? So when I look at that and I say, okay, well, what kind of legacy do I wanna leave? What kind of impression do I wanna leave in the world? But more importantly, what kind of values do I wanna instill in my son, right? The people that I love and support that are around me and appreciate. And for me, then therefore, I can go back to that first question and say, yeah, I would want there to be a strategic fitness goal for me in my life, because I would wanna be demonstrating through my life that you wanna live to the fullest all the way to the very end and take the best care of yourself possible, right? Because just because my life may be ending in 90 days with that hypothetical scenario, I hope, not real, but the reality is I would want to be living by example the entire time so that they can live the best life possible. And the healthier they are, the better it's gonna be. So that's why that one's important. So what do I actually want? Does losing 5 pounds, does that make the difference? Or for me, does moving better make the difference? Like, so ask yourself truly what it is that I want. I really wanna be able to run a 5K. Awesome, then let's work towards a 5K. Or I wanna be able to do a pull-up. It's whatever actually matters to you. And that's why you really got to drill home that question of why does it matter? Because I've never felt like I could do a pull-up and I never felt like I would be able to, right? So then of course that goal really matters. Or my spouse runs marathons all the time and it would be awesome to do a 5K with the family. When you actually start peeling back that onion and digging a little bit deeper and finding out why it matters to you, then you can start to actually instill some values that are so deep that change will not only be possible, but inevitable. So that's why that question is so incredibly powerful and you've got to take some time to sit on it. Once you get past that, it's simply how will you get it done, right? So say your goal is to run a 5K in the next 90 days. Well, how will you get it done? You map out the training plan. And maybe it's finding a gym or a trainer that can help you do that. Or maybe it's following a program online. So maybe you have to do a little bit of homework on this one to dig deep, but it's outlining that system and knowing what it's gonna take from start to finish. That's obviously what's gonna make you successful. Just throwing it to the wind, I mean, a week goes by like that, right? 30 days flies. I mean, when we're filming this at this current time, it's almost the end of 2016. We've got 3 months and I'm going, 2016 just flew by, right? Now you may be referencing this at any point in time, quarter in 2017, 2018, wherever, but you're probably having the same feeling, right? The days are long, but the years are really short. So that's why I wanna ask, how specific can you get on this one? How will you get it done? And you wanna use benchmarks for that. So what are your benchmarks? Benchmarks are at 30-day mark, 60-day mark, and then of course at the end, the 90-day mark. So once you know what it's gonna be at the end of the 90 days, just work back, okay? So if I wanna run a 5K, then probably by 30 days, I should be able to run a mile consistently. Maybe by 60 days, I need to run 2 miles consistently and walk the rest. Or maybe it's walk 1 mile for me, run 1 mile, walk 1 mile, or even vice versa. So you've got to identify what that is to you and utilize those benchmarks, okay? Then you're just getting into the nitty gritty and probably the most important part. What's the obstacle that is going to get in your way? It's a big question that I don't think we look at very often in life. But what is the obstacle? There's always going to be one. And a lot of people will just quickly go, it's me. I'm the obstacle that's gonna get in my way. And I can totally relate, we usually are. We're our own worst enemies. We like to run these little stories in our head. They're honestly complete bull, and we get in our own way. But let's be more specific than that. How will you get in your own way if that's what you're saying? Because it's probably that you've got family, you've got work, you've got a ton of things that are going on and your willpower just gets tanked. I completely get it. At the end of the day, you're drained. So what things do you need to put in place beforehand, or what things do you need to look at so you can prevent that from happening? Because there's always going to be an obstacle. So again, it's the end of 2016 currently when we're filming this. So like we've got Thanksgiving, we've got Christmas coming up here before the end of the year. 2 wonderful times where you're surrounded by family, you're surrounded by food. Now, if you've got a fitness or nutrition-based goal, those are probably 2 obstacles that are gonna come into play, let alone the fact that everybody's gonna be bringing stuff into the office and they're all gonna be on this downward slump of eat anything, enjoy life, right? So the more you can look at the obstacle and how you're gonna get past it, what you're gonna do for it, the better your outcome is going to be. You're basically looking ahead, seeing that there's gonna be roadblocks, that there's gonna be issues, and just eliminating them or planning for them as best as possible. Now here's one thing I want you to do on this one. Have a conversation. Maybe even have more conversations. The reality is most of our obstacles, most of the things that get in our way along that journey are people. And it's not their fault. Most people, what they're trying to do is make themselves feel better. And the reason that they're trying to make themselves feel better is because they're unhappy with where they're at. Here you are on this trajectory, can't talk for a moment there, on this trajectory of actually trying to improve your life. It's inspiring to a lot of people, but it's also threatening because all of a sudden you're changing something about yourself and they're not changing something about themselves. So they're looking at you and really just this mirror comes upon them and it's just frustration with themselves. So they may try and pull you back down. Ah, come on, you worked out yesterday. You can take today off and go have a donut or whatever it may be. But that's an obstacle, so therefore that's a conversation you need to have. And it's really simple. Will you support me? This is my goal. This is how I'm gonna get it done. Will you support me? If they're your friend, if they actually love you, if they actually do care for you, they will. And they won't tempt you with that. But you've gotta be really strict on it. If it's something that you've said that you were gonna accomplish 10 times over, it's like the boy who cried wolf. They may not believe you. Yeah, sure, you're gonna run a 5K this time. Yeah, no, I support you, it's cool. And in that case, then you just do gotta step up and prove them, right? So it may take a little bit of time, but you've gotta be willing to have that conversation first. And then finish off with, what's the reward? See, I think this is a big area where most people drop the ball, right? When you're looking at SMART goals, right, the R is result. We almost need smarter, like with an extra R, where the reward is crucial at the end. See, a lot of times what we do is we hit something, we smash it. Sweet, I got my degree. Sweet, I actually dropped 20 pounds like I said I was going to. I ran the marathon. That in itself isn't the reward. That was the goal's outcome. That's what you said you were going to do. But how do you reward yourself when you get there? Because the reality is the moment we do not appreciate, we depreciate. By setting a reward and saying, when I run that 5K, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spend a day at the spa. The very next day, I'm gonna reward myself by actually getting a deep tissue massage, a facial, whatever it is for you, right? But if you set a reward, you're showing yourself, I worked hard, I accomplished it, I appreciate myself for doing that. And if you're not appreciating yourself, honestly, you're just telling yourself that you were not enough by accomplishing that. And that's why people will hit stuff and then immediately like shrink, right? They go back and they don't feel like they accomplished much. Oh, it was no big deal. It was a big deal. You just needed to celebrate it, right? So you can use this system at any point in time. And I definitely think it's something you want to take some time on, but it's simple and it's effective and it totally works. So set some goals, smash them, all right? Peace be the journey, Coach Proser.